Indeed, he does. And is he going to be able to extinguish him, or is he going to be believing his eyes? I tried to segue that, and I thought, wait, what works with Firefly?
Oh god.
Somebody should make a parody of that specifically for Firefly, though.
The song?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
They definitely should. Get on it, Tempo. Well, no, Tempo's busy. And speaking of which, we are now going to be going on to Romanticide, LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Excavation. Lovers Excavation. They went on the expedition, they climbed the mountain, now they gotta dig the mountain. That's how it works. Eventually, they'll go into the magma, and that's when we get the eruption. Over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. He is coming out from the land of China. As I quickly look up what team he is on. Going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. You would not believe your eyes. He is Firefly.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Mexican Terran player residing in the land of South Korea. He is Juanito himself. Raise your Doritos for SpeCial.
I am kicking myself so much. Like, last week we casted SpeCial, and it was a Monday, and it was the 2nd of November. And that day was Dia de los Muertos.
It was! I remember that we pointed it out after after the fact, and we were like, no, we didn't mention it at all. God damn it.
Well, we are now on Dia de... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what comes after 6?
Siete?
We are in Dia Siete after De los Muertos.
There you go.
That counts for something.
That does count for something, and hopefully Juanito can harness his inner Mexican powers, even though he's far from home, to power through here. Because again, looking at that bracket, like without a big Protoss, I do feel like the bane of SpeCial's existence has been like solid Protoss players, especially like the Korean ones. In his other matchups, like he's insane, so he has the potential to make it far here.
Yeah, he definitely does, especially after that week end, I should say, that he's had, learning from the best.
Oh yeah, definitely. We shall see. And again, we'll also see when it comes to Firefly, because he's a Chinese player who did pretty well during DreamHack. I was very impressed. I know he's one of the younger players. He's one of the new kids on the block, and there's a lot of potential there with him as well.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he actually managed to barely make it to the playoff stage. I think he did get taken out by another one of those more established names in Chinese scene. I want to say Jeshe. I could be wrong. I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I want to say...
China was a week ago.
Yeah, I want to say he played against Time, and he lost in the series, but he took a game off of him. I want to say that
was
happened.
in the group stage. That happened in the group stage. I remember that.
Yeah.
That did happen.
That's what I mean. Like, take a game off of Time. Yo, you can take a game off of anyone.
Take a game off. Exactly. Well, I mean, that depends how that series went on, because I feel like SpeCial, he is a lot more cautious than Time. He is definitely a player who doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks, compared to Time, who is almost the... How should I describe this? I don't want to call him the Terran Patience, but he does play on a knife's edge.
Oh yeah, he definitely can, and we'll see what SpeCial has in store for us. Again, I think what I like about SpeCial is he often has quite a number of builds up his sleeve that he can go for, and he's going for this very fast, aggressive push with all these Marines and these Hellions.
Yeah, try to drop behind enemy lines, or not quite at the moment. No armory right now, so these are just going to be Hellions, just looking to see if there are any light units that he can try to chip away at, utilizing those flames.
Yeah, and really nicely done so far by Firefly. He hasn't lost any of his units, despite some of them being so low, pulling them back, making sure they regenerate their shields with that shield battery. Oh my god, even diving on top of the medevac.
Yeah, almost able to get it, but very quick reaction here from SpeCial. That does mean he was unable to heal the Marines, though, and they have to retreat without getting any kills. Blink finished up, and it will be the nail in the coffin for this push. Now, the question is, where does Firefly go from here? He has the opportunity to be a bit more aggressive, go across the map, and just try to utilize this Blink to really put some really throw a wrench into SpeCial's plans and his production.
Yeah, definitely.
But he is being a bit more economic.
Yeah, like that was so impressive to see. Like Firefly cleaned that up. I was a little bit worried when he went for that offensive Blink, but he was able to take everything out. Blink itself did finish up just in time. He was able to take out the medevac, basically clean everything up. What's important is that SpeCial, he was able to dive into the third base, and with this surviving Hellion, he did spot that the third was thrown down, so he knows that his opponent is going for, you know, a bit of a more economic follow-up.
That he does. And this means that SpeCial, he has a little bit more time here to just really gather his defenses, prevent the Blink Stalkers from doing too much, and just get ready for that follow-up push that he is wont to do.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see that he has the Raven as well, and that's going to help so much when it comes to sniping the Observer, denying this high ground vision. But so far, Firefly, he's found a way in.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a problem here on Romanticide. The main base is just absolutely massive and SpeCial. You got to be in position, man. You got to absolutely keep your eyes peeled, sniping the Raven, and considering the fact that Firefly is going for Colossus, that is such an advantage that you can take early on in the game.
Oh yeah, like regardless of what you're going for, like picking up a Raven of all things, of all units, is so much value. And now he trades really efficiently against the Marines. Such amazing Blink Stalker play, and even goes down to the third, keeps the majority of his Stalkers alive.
I am just absolutely impressed with what Firefly has been able to show us this game. He's pretty much only utilized Blink Stalkers so far, and already he's completely deflected the push. He's got so much value with his counter harass. He's even getting a fourth base, but I feel like that's a bit too much of a risk. We'll see, as he is getting 7 gates as a follow-up, and should have Colossus by the time SpeCial pushes out.
Like, he has such an economic advantage because, again, SpeCial, he invested a lot into that initial drop, right? Into that initial push, and it did 0 damage at the natural. He got a third base up as he was harassing. Like, again, the third base was completely left alone. We do see SpeCial scans. He sees a fully saturated base. He sees a couple of probes headed over towards the bottom left, so he should be aware, maybe an inkling, that there is a fourth base, and now SpeCial, he has to do something. He can't let Firefly get away with this.
Well, when Firefly is being super greedy like this, he is spreading himself out quite a bit during a time where he doesn't really have a lot of army supply to spare. Yeah. You can see it's only 49 at the moment.
Oh, exactly.
And as many multi-prongs as he can, especially.
Yeah, SpeCial, he does drop into the natural. And you know what? Firefly, he did spot the main army moving towards his fourth base. You know what? His entire army goes towards the natural, so now his fourth is under threat.
Yeah, it is in quite a bit of a threat, but he did split his army up pretty well. A lot of Colossus, or rather I should say Marauders. Sort of Colossus is looking to be in a bit of danger, but with some very, very nice force fields. Firefly able to deflect that once again.
Wow.
He is just untouchable so far this game.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit concerned for Firefly, but because of this Observer, he did spot the main army. He was aware that SpeCial was going for this multi-prong, so he was able to split up his army quite nicely, defends on both ends, and he only loses 5 workers. Like, that's nothing. 5 probes, like, he's perfectly fine. Now he's just working on a much more larger army, and sure, SpeCial's trying to defend, but can he hold on to this fourth?
Yeah, pretty good tank spread. Will be able to secure it. And I'm liking this flank. Mostly Marauders here of this army. And there are just not enough Zealots here to provide a buffer. Targets the Colossus immediately. And that's already a pretty high profile pickoff.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, there is a drop going into the main base. There is a warp in, so it looks like Firefly will be able to defend. And he's trying to break through this position, trying to get on top of the tanks.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite going to get it. He gets all of the tanks. But the bio is still looking very, very good. The Warpism got taken out, and that completely takes away any sustainability for this army, any micro potential as well, and it will get deflected. But in the end, was it an efficient trade for SpeCial? It's Hard to say.
I would say so. He essentially reset the Colossus count. Like, that was so ambitious from Firefly. I would say overconfident. I was so surprised when he first initially applied pressure at the 4th base where he only had one single Colossus and like only a handful of gateway units. I'm like, mate, what are you doing? Immediately special focus down that Colossus. Then he tried again, but you know what? He's not giving up. He's still trying to do this.
That he definitely is. The kiting has been really, really good for special so far. And now Firefly is playing it out, not going to be as bloodthirsty as he was earlier on. He got the damage done. He picked off a tank. He delayed this forward expansion again, so he backs away and gets ready for a second warp in. Will be able to take out that CC. And now the Zealots get right on top of the tanks. There's still a pretty healthy bio count, though. Not quite enough Zealots here to really provide a buffer, but in the end, you know, the Marauders are getting thinned out. And that it means that Special's bio will be in a bit more trouble when it comes to these Stalkers.
Like, Firefly is so aggressive, almost to a fault, but you know what he's doing it? Like, he was able to get a kill on that 4th base. He reset, almost basically reset the tank count. There's only one left, and you know what? It's going to be focused down.
Right on top of it. Yeah, really good decisions here from Firefly. Just sees the tank and targets it down. This is a decent concave coming out from Special, and with the ramp, he's going to be able to deflect Firefly. But again, how many Marauders went down in that engagement? The tank count completely reset. Firefly, quick warp in on a couple more Zealots. He's going straight for it.
Yeah, he is. You know what, Firefly? He's telling us, yo, I do not need Robo units. I do not need Colossus at all. If anything, they're a hindrance. He's doing so much with just Zealots and Blink Stalkers. And sure, he's getting pushed away, but you know what? At the same time, the Warp Prism goes into the 3rd and warps into the main.
Wow, there's just this one patch in the main base where there was not any missile turrets, and a quick retreat here with the bio will mean that Firefly has to back off.
Yeah. He, mate, behind this is taking a 5th. He's, Jesus, this is so unnecessary, right? Like, he's containing Special to 3 bases, and now he's taking a 5th base. He's already got his 4th up and running. He's got so much money to work with, and again, I'm just so impressed by how Firefly is playing this out. Again, not really committing the War Prism into the main base, making sure he keeps it alive, not wanting to lose that once again. But now Special, he does have this very strong, incredibly strong bio army, and he's finally looking to push across the map. Oh god.
Yeah, really good split here of Marine Marauder, or ratio I should say. Gaussian Shell will slow down that Disruptor enough to take it out, and this base, he's gonna have to sack it.
Oh, will he though? He gets
or
surrounded.
Does he? He does. Russia come in with this flank. Purification Nova a little bit off. But with the positioning here, I mean, a lot of medevacs have already been taken out. The rest of them are in so low energy. Sure, Disruptor got sniped, but the bio has nowhere to run.
Oh, it does not have anywhere to run. And you know what? The entire time medevacs were getting picked off, they are out of energy, and all of the bio gets cleaned up. Firefly holds onto his 5th base.
He does, but I'm really starting to get worried for Firefly though. Like, just look at that army supply. That Disruptor count got completely reset earlier on, and Special, he's managed to find enough breathing room here. They just keep gonna press his momentum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he does have one Disruptor, and again, one Disruptor shot, sometimes it's all you need to hold on as a Protoss player. He's trading so efficiently here. Meanwhile, looks like there is a bit of a Widowmine drop. Ooh, 9 probes going down, 2 more going into the main.
Yeah, and there aren't any defenses here, no detection either. So the probe's just gonna back the heck away.
Oh yeah, meanwhile, ooh, DTs are actually across the map as well.
Yeah, and they've equalized in terms of the worker count. Surprisingly. All right, another quick drop here coming in here for Special. This time it does not quite get surrounded. And now gonna be doom dropping into the main base. Blink was already used, so Firefly isn't going to be able to get back in his main easily.
Yeah, he does blink once again forward, but you know what? There are only Blink Stalkers. The Zealots were already used, and some of the Widowmines that were utilized earlier are here to back up the army as well.
That there are another couple of probes going down, and now that the Zealots, and now it's pretty much just Zealots, so the medevacs are very able to evacuate out. Finally, this base is going to go down. I think Special, if he just continues to apply a bit more momentum, should be able to take this.
Yeah, exactly.
Or pressure, I should say, not momentum.
Yeah, Special is finally starting to pull Firefly apart. Like, he was able to punish his greed, takes out the 5th base, you know, had all of his attention busy with that drop, even targets down the 4th. Oh, is he going to get it?
Yeah, will be able to take that out as he backs away. Blink Stalker count has been completely shut down for Firefly. So there should be a hot pickup. Okay, doesn't quite want to utilize it. No special doesn't.
Yeah, what's scary though is that all these zealots, like, yeah, he's just going across the map. There was no more reinforcements. Like, SpeCial had everything valid across the map. There we go. Here come the reinforcements, and with these SpeCial, he's going to be able to hold on to his fourth. Oh, the disruptor.
Yeah, for now, all eyes are on the disruptors. The Zealot's starting to come in. Beautiful split from SpeCial, making sure he doesn't get any friendly fire. One Purification Nova, not doing too much, but he was saving the other. They also didn't do too much.
Yeah, the 2 shots, they only got a handful of units, and you know what? Oh my god, he doesn't pay attention. He loses one of the disruptors.
Yeah, and that was the one that was going to go off cooldown. The other disruptor completely isolated. SpeCial completely crushing this army. And this should be the final stand here for Firefly. GG is called. SpeCial, after such a rough start, able to turn that game completely 180. GG.
GG, that was on the knife edge for so long. Like, SpeCial was up against the wall with how aggressive Firefly was being, but you know what, in the end, like, Firefly, he was being too cost inefficient, right? Like, he just kept losing all his robo units. Like, he did not care at all about them, and that, you know, that kind of cost him in the end.
It really did. GG, well played.
Yeah, it reminds you of like Patience with War Prisms, except it's Firefly with robo units. It's like his Colossus and Disruptors, like, they do not stay on the map for too long whatsoever.
Yeah, they somehow they really don't. And I mean, that mass gateway cell was, I mean, we haven't seen that in quite some time. I feel like the last time we really saw a player utilize that was maybe Classic 2 years ago. In PVTs, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I loved it. Like, it was really cool to see play out. I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how would that have looked if he babysat like his Colossus a little bit more, right, and kept them alive throughout the game and had them to reinforce his gateway army, you know? Like, things of that nature would have been amazing for him, especially because, like, SpeCial, he never really invested a lot into like Vikings or another Raven or anything like that. But yeah, in the end, GG, SpeCial takes the game, and that was beautiful.
That very much so was. Now we're gonna be loading into game number 2. Will Firefly pull something a little bit different and start turning the series around, or is SpeCial just gonna continue to ride this wave? And we are gonna be continuing on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good sign.
Yeah, if I crash, it's immediately as soon as the game starts loading. But, you know, I have a loading screen, which means we're going to be all in game number 2.
Ooh, Nelly. And we are now here on Lightshade LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. He is the red Protoss player coming out from China. Very fitting that he's on this map, as he is gonna be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. We have Firefly. Providing the light.
Providing the light. He's keeping me in this game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE. We have the Mexican Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Exxon. He's currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 after an intense game 1. Can he close it out in game 2? It is SpeCial.
Alright, and what I'm going to be looking at here is SpeCial's opening. He went for something very dedicated in game number 1, didn't quite get anything done, still able to turn that game completely around and still win, but yeah, he was behind for a while just because of his opening.
It was a very hard-fought battle for SpeCial. Very hard-fought, and I'm really impressed that he was able to like have the mental fortitude of, like, you know, continuing to be very persistent. And despite the opening not going his way, despite a lot not going his way, especially in the early game, he was able to just stand strong and turn it around. It was pretty sick to see.
Yeah. And let's see if he does it again here, or if he is, in fact, going to be taking that early game lead and trying to snowball from there. Firefly, though, what do you think, Light? I mean, last game, it seems like he played a little. He started with a fairly safe opening and then just went pretty reactive until he thought, my enemy is weak. I can finish him off. I know why I went
Yeah.
Dragon Ball for that, but
I don't know if it was necessarily that he saw an opportunity and he just kept being aggressive, or that's just his playstyle. It's hard to say because I don't think we've been able to cast enough of Firefly to really know what his style is. But honestly, he went for a pretty standard opening. The big difference when it came to Firefly is just how aggressive he was afterwards, and how he just kept continuing to warp in across the map and apply pressure and commit. And he was so on point when it came to like sniping key units like Ravens and tanks, and things really snowballed in his favor. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so. We'll see if SpeCial takes a little bit more care when it comes to his tanks and things of that nature.
yeah, Firefly was really able to snowball, but SpeCial, he had the hairdryer ready.
He did, yeah. He melted that snowball before it hit him.
That's what you do in snowball fights, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I know snow.
Yaku, have you ever seen snow? Have you ever like held snow in your hands?
Artificial snow?
Is there snow in Singapore?
No. Well, there's an there's like a what's it called? An artificial. You know how Home Story Cup was held in that like
Tropical island.
Yeah, tropical islands, but it was in the middle of winter in Germany.
Yeah, it was like in like a greenhouse essentially.
Yeah,
like a very artificial environment. Yeah, yeah.
We used to have that, but the opposite. Except I think it's closed for renovation now. Don't quite remember.
That sounds amazing. Is it like a massive like igloo essentially? Like
well, I don't know how massive means, but it's like the size of an it's like the size of a
house?
Like a neighborhood, yeah.
Like a neighborhood. Like, can you drive
Well,
around
I'm
in
talking
it?
about the width. I'm talking about the width. Yeah, I mean they're like cranes and stuff.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. We should go there next time we go to Singapore.
Yeah, hopefully it's out of renovation now. Okay, SpeCial. Go for something similar to game number 1.
Yeah.
But this time not trying to take an early game lead, instead just really macroing up, focusing on that timing attack.
Exactly. Like last time he went for an early push with Hellions and a medevac drop. This time, no medevac. We do see prioritization of the Raven instead, so being a little bit safer, a little bit more conservative, and we'll see if he sends this Raven across the map to harass a little bit, or if he's more concerned about like keeping it at home and saving up that energy.
Yeah, you can really go either way when it comes to a TvP. But I think it does also depend more on, what the Terra player is able to scout. If they know that their opponent's going to go for that Robo Bay and try to get a Colossus or maybe even a Disruptor, you may be better off just saving your energy for Disables. But if you just want to slow down your Protoss opponent's economy, you may as well just go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
It is much more work, so.
Yeah, and like Firefly himself was expecting some aggression, and against Juanito, I don't blame him. He had his Stalkers on patrol in his main base. He was waiting for Blink to finish up as well. Now that Blink is done, he's going across the map. He does have his Observer, but he has to be careful because there is a Raven out.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Lightshade is another one of these maps where it's pretty wide open, so the Observer can come in from anywhere, but unlike Romanticide, there is pretty much only one place for Stalkers to blink on top of. Especially coming in with the Raven, will confirm the Colossus, and he's looking to place down these auto turrets.
Yeah, he definitely is. Meanwhile, the main armies do clash a little bit. The Blink Stalkers chipping away at them, and the auto turret does go down in the natural.
Yeah, taking out a couple of probes and pulling the rest of them off the mineral line. Oh, SpeCial being so proactive here with his army, trying to get those Stalkers out. And now he realizes, I'm on the map. Stim has finished up. Combat Shield is on the way. I may as well just go straight for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. We'll see, because again, he's using all the Raven energy on these auto turrets. That means there's going to be no interference matrix for this Colossus. He's going to have to rely on his target firing and his positioning to take it out.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on how SpeCial can utilize his Marauders here. There are 2 Colossus out here now, so he can really afford a lot less risks, right? When it comes to charging in and targeting down his opponent's Colossus. And I mean, when you're going bio against this type of army, you typically want to go for a surround, but on Lightshade, that can be tricky to do, unless you can somehow bait your opponent into the middle of the map.
Yeah, definitely. And at the same time, there does seem to be a drop into the main base, forces a recall as well.
Yeah, but it is only a couple of Stalkers. Wouldn't mind, and a couple of well-placed Marauder shots should be able to deal with that. The rest of Marauders, though, or Stalkers, though, do come back in. And SpeCial trying to go for it, and he does have a pretty decent Marauder count, but Force Field cutting off enough of the army that he could not quite kill those Colossus.
Yeah,
Shield battery securing it.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Like, he target fired one of them, and he almost got one, but it just barely got picked up by that War Prism. Meanwhile, this Raven, relentless when it comes to the auto turret harass. Sure, every single time he only gets 2 probe kills, but what's more important is that every single time he forces all the probes off the mineral line, all that lost mining time. And honestly, it's really well done by both players. Like, SpeCial, he's been able to harass well, but Firefly, his defense has been amazing. Like, the recall with the Stalkers, like, saving his Colossus.
Yeah, it absolutely has been. I mean, I think what I'm wondering is maybe why didn't SpeCial utilize those interference matrices, right? But, I mean, I guess this is something that has been, what's the word I'm thinking of here, like discussed or experimented in TvP, where there are Terran players who have said it's just not quite worth it if your opponent has a battery overcharge available to them, right? Because then it'll just retreat and heal up from there, and you've essentially just wasted some Raven energy. If they utilize that overcharge earlier on and they don't have it, then go for it. But I don't know, I think the jury is still out on that.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is, and I mean, we'll see if it works out for SpeCial, like utilizing that Raven for that harass instead of utilizing it offensively in the main army, as he does have quite a high Marauder count, and he does force a cancel here at the 4th.
Yeah, and backs away with basically his entire army. I don't think he lost maybe 1 Marine over there.
Yeah, I will also say that once again, like, Firefly's army looks a little bit fragile. Now he finally reinforces with his gateway units. It looks like, ooh, a War Prism was trying to sneak in, but there are quite a lot of Vikings out for SpeCial.
There are. And this is looking a lot more deadly than the previous game. SpeCial is anyway. Hallucinated War Prism, but yeah, SpeCial is well aware.
I mean, he has Vikings regardless. Like, it's whether it was real or not. And I mean, now SpeCial, he's got a pretty beefy army. He's got his Raven, he's got a bunch of Vikings, he's got some Ghosts involved as well for EMPs, and this is like the ideal Terran army. Now it's going to be about that positioning. Can he find the correct angle to engage into these Colossus?
Yeah, well, he's trying to find it. Immediately the Warp Prism does not get taken out. Very good feedback there on top of the Ravens, but the Ghosts are still very much in play. They're looking to find an opening. Oh, Vikings able to get 1 of the Colossus, not quite getting the Warp Prism. SpeCial opening up this avenue of attack. Just waiting for the Force Field to really go off. Very good EMPs on top of majority of the Archons.
Yeah, beautiful EMPs, and there are decent force fields, even though there's only 1. Colossus is able to shave off quite a few, but now SpeCial, he stims forward.
That he does, but a battery overcharge was used, immediately running out though, and SpeCial coming in with the rest of his army. Firefly with nothing left. GG is called. SpeCial, after a bit of a rocky game number 1, gonna be taking that series very, very convincingly.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think what's important is that even though SpeCial was, you know, decently aggressive throughout that game, like, he never really took any big losses, and he was able to maintain the majority of his army and slowly build it up for that massive push there at the end.